In this video, I'm going to be talking about relationships in terms of the needs of the relationship and the people in the relationship. And this can be applied to a relationship with your partner, your mum, your daughter, a friend, any relationship that is close. An effective way to navigate through this is to think about a relationship of having 3 points. You have your needs, their needs, and the relationship's needs. And sometimes we have to behave in a way that is for the betterment of the relationship as opposed to your needs or their needs. And this takes compromise, empathy, and selflessness. So an example of this that I can share from my own experience is I remember when my daughter was in reception and they were learning what they call the tricky words, and she had to learn the word the. And for some reason she really struggled with this word. And at the time I was a teacher, so I had all these activities and ideas of how to teach her the word the, made word searches and games, but for some reason she just couldn't remember the word the. And for some reason for me it just became like a bit of an obsession. I had the word the stuck all around the dining room table, around her bedroom, around the kitchen, just everywhere. And at one point I actually realised that I was actually stressing her out and it wasn't really an enjoyable experience for her. And I had the realisation that I just had to stop, and I just thought, you know what, she's going to learn it at some point. She's not going to get to the age of 18 and not be able to read the word the. So I just let go, let her get on with it for the good of our relationship, and guess what? She got there on her own in her own time. So that's just an example of how sometimes we just have to let go and just focus on the relationship rather than what it is we're trying to help them learn or overcome. And I think we can try and apply that, not specifically that example, but think about, is there things in our relationships, whether it's with our children, our spouse, are we putting too much pressure or too much focus on things, and as a consequence we're actually damaging the relationship? And at the end of the day, having a healthy relationship with the people you love is the most important thing. So something to think about. Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about the importance of making sure your emotional needs are being met in the relationships that you're in. So firstly, what you need to do is separate how you feel about the person that you're with from how that relationship makes you feel. So for example, you could be with somebody who has all these qualities that you admire. They could be charismatic, intelligent, funny, charming, successful, determined, all these great attributes. But if that relationship makes you feel anxious or sad or lonely or full of self-doubt or not good enough, that is your reality and that is your experience. And if that is how you're feeling, that needs to be addressed, because a relationship like that won't last. And if you do decide to stay together, then the emotional connection will eventually become more and more and more broken, and you will over time just build resentment towards that person, and you're just not going to be happy. So really have a think about what is going on in that relationship. How are you feeling? And if you are feeling those things, then you must talk to your partner about it so that you can address them and fix them, and let it be the relationship that it potentially could be. Everybody deserves to be happy in all of their relationships. And I'm not just talking about a relationship with your partner. This could be a relationship with a parent, with a child, with a close friend. So really think about, are you getting your emotional needs met in your relationships? And if not, is it time to do something about it? Thank you. Hello, in this video I'm going to be talking about meeting your partner's needs in your relationship. So the first thing to think about is, when you first meet somebody, sometimes you can be so focused on making a good impression and making them happy that you don't think about your needs. And then when you start to get comfortable and a bit more confident in the relationship and feel that it's going somewhere, then subconsciously we can start thinking about what we want, and as a result we can end up trying to change that person or control that person, when in reality the only person you can change and control is yourself. Yes, we need boundaries, yes, we need to have non-negotiables, but if we've met somebody who we like all these things, but we don't like the fact that they play football on a Saturday or some of their values don't align with us, then we have to walk away, because you cannot try to change somebody. Nobody wants to be changed, and the only person, as I said, you can change is yourself. So if that is a reality, then it's time to walk away. But if you can accept somebody for who they are and really love everything about them and tolerate the bits that you're not really so keen on but they're okay, and actually learn to love those bits, then you're in a position to have a really healthy relationship. And if you can get on that path, then it's going to be a relationship full of compassion and compromise and teamwork, where you support each other and bring the best out of each other and support each other on the days where it's not so well, and be that shoulder, be their safe place, be their home. What can happen, and I've seen it many times, I do a lot of couples counselling, that when things go wrong, people then blame the other person and criticise them, or even start competing with them and comparing with them. And that's never healthy. You've got to feel like a team. You guys are in this together. You've got to be there through the good times, the bad times, not blaming, looking at yourself, thinking, how can I show up for this person? How can I show I've got this person's back? And if that's the attitude you have, you will get through all the good times, the bad times, and everything in between. Thank you for listening.